You ready? You guys good?
Mm-hmm.
We good.
All right, let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Jab Journals. I'm back here at Darkside Boxing Gym with Coach Mo again and Husam Mashaddi. Husam's an up-and-coming middleweight or junior middleweight prospect.
Yeah.
Just came off a big fight, another first-round knockout, something you're getting used to. You know what I mean? How'd that feel to fight at Little Caesars Arena?
Oh, man, it was great. I never really thought I'd be fighting there. I didn't even know, something like that was even possible. So, for Clarissa Shields to, come back to the city and do something like that, it was big. It was real big. I was just excited to be there for really,
Yeah, I mean, I watched it on DAZN. A lot of people in the stands for you. It seems like you had a lot of fans come out, a lot of friends and family. But I've watched a lot of your fights on YouTube the last couple weeks preparing for the interview, and it seems like you always have quite a big fan base show up.
Yeah, especially when we fight here in Michigan, wherever we fight in Michigan, everybody tries to come out, all the Arabic people, from the Iraqis to the, Chaldeans to the Lebanese people, they all show, mad love and support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, you also had Josiah fighting that night, but Husam went up there, put on a show also. Pretty good night for you as a coach, huh? 2-0.
It was great. Great night. Thank God we're doing well. Fighters are doing well. And it's a great night when you win too.
Yeah. And Husam, you've been knocking guys out in the first round, but the guys you fought have had 30, 40, sometimes 50 fights. I think not your last guy, but I don't know. One of the guys had like 40 fights. So you're fighting guys with a lot of experience.
Prescott had 50.
Yeah, Prescott. Yeah. So I mean, what's it like going up there, like up and coming? First 10, 12 fights, and you're fighting guys with that much experience.
The preparation for these fights have been different. Going into my last 3-4 fights, knowing that these guys can't last 3-4 rounds with me. We obviously watch them and prepare for them, before going into the fight. So just knowing that they can't really compete with me, gives me that edge, like mentality-wise. I just go in there and I work them from the jump to let them know that, they're not doing nothing to me today.
Right.
That's the type of mentality I've been having going into the gym, going into the fight, sparring, whatever it is.
Yeah, every fight that I've seen of you, even the fight with Gabriel Smith that went the distance, your only decision win. The first minute and a half, you jumped on him. Is that just a part of your game plan, just to show, kind of own the ring right then and there?
For sure. I like to show them that this is my house off the rip. With that fight, it was my first time going the distance. It was I'd like to go to the distance. Hopefully this next opponent we got for my next fight, whoever it is gonna be, hopefully they can take me 3-4 rounds, 5 rounds, because I'd like that. I wanna gain that experience right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get those title fights in the future, it's nothing new, going 3, 4, 5 rounds. I don't try to get the knockouts. Lately they just been coming.
Yeah.
In that fight with Gabriel Smith, I was trying to force it. It was definitely like a rookie mistake, trying to force it. But you learn from stuff like that, So I just took that and moved on.
Right. Well, Coach, I'm assuming that's why you've been matching him so tough with these guys with a lot of fights. Is a guy like Husam has got a lot of confidence. Obviously, he's not shy from that. But he can't knock everyone out in the first round, right?
No, we're trying to get people, to make them go 3, 4, 5 rounds. But we're picking guys with lots of experience that know how to last, and we're picking guys that fought like the last guy fought Amir Khan, lasted with him, and we're trying to get guys that will make him work, but he seems to catch him early, and we're not going to complain, but
right.
But
it probably makes it hard to find opponents for him, right?
It really does. It really does.
Now, is that something, Husam, that you guys talk about, like in the gym, jumping on the guy, or is that's just your way of welcome to the party, kind of?
Honestly, no. The bell rings, I go in there, I land. As soon as I land one punch, I just if it's like an easy to me, if I land like a quick punch off a slip or something, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this guy, I can get him out right now.
Right.
I'm not about to keep playing with him. I don't like playing with my food when I'm in the ring.
Right.
So I just I get him out early if I could, you know. But if it's someone that I know, you know, that's gonna last, like going into my future.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you know, because you watch and you study and you're working on things in the gym. If it's someone I know that's gonna last, you know, I approach it differently. You know, more smart, more like a veteran. You know? Yeah.
Now, you know, you are a veteran in a way, you know, because you had a pretty good amateur career, right, leading up to, you know. But before we kind of get into the present, which we already did, but you know, how did you get into boxing? How did it all start?
It was like a family thing, you know. All my brothers did it. Brothers, friends, cousins, stuff like that. Kind of like a family thing. Mm-hmm. They were all boxing at the Krung Gym on Warren.
Yeah.
You know, I used to just go, you know, run around the gym like, you know, a little kid, maybe 5, 6 years old, just running around. One day I sparred, and I was sparring a kid that was a national champion that was maybe like a year or two older than me. At the time, I was say probably like 6. He was like 8 years old, something like that. I didn't really hit him or beat him up. I just had a good tendency of like not getting hit.
Yeah.
You know, I knew how to like move away from punches with really no boxing experience. So my dad was like, okay, you know, there's a tournament coming up, let's take you. Like, I had no boxing experience whatsoever. You can even look up the fights. I think they're on YouTube. No experience. Like, I didn't even know how to throw like a regular jab. I just knew how to keep my hands up and throw a lot of punches.
Yeah.
Like you in a swimming pool or street fight or something.
Right.
So, you know, I went out there ringside in 2010. I fought the novice class. They actually lied about my age. For those boxing fans out there, you got to be 8 years old to compete. I was 7, and they lied about my age to compete. So I was 7 fighting 8 and 9-year-olds.
You know, that's funny because you're just the opposite way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I won't say names, but I knew people that lied about their age, say they were younger than what they actually were. So that's interesting. You lied to get just to fight.
I mean, they did it. I was just showed up to fight.
Oh yeah, you were.
I didn't even know I was fighting.
Not your fault.
I didn't even know I was fighting. You know, I was a little kid. They told me the kid talked about my dad or something. You know, so I just hopped in the ring and started throwing punches. You know, so I didn't really know much. I didn't know what was going on. I just came back home with the belt. Yeah. Yeah. So
you first term out in ringside, you came back home champion.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, and then you obviously carved a really good career, turned pro.
Yeah.
You know, you met up with Coach Mo. When did you two kind of click and start training together?
Since the amateurs, you know, we moved to Dark Side Boxing. I've known Coach Mo for a very long time. We've always been mutuals, you know, through my old coach. We've always been, you know, around each other in same gyms and stuff. So I always knew what he was about. But when I came here, that's when like it kind of opened up my eyes a little more.
Yeah.
We always worked together, but going into the pro career, I knew that like making that decision, you know, transitioning from the amateurs to the pros, you know, it takes a lot more sitting down in your punches, more setting up your shots. There's nobody better than him, and you know, it's just slowly starting to catch everybody's eye.
Yeah.
You know, but little and little, you know, everybody's gonna see.
Right.
You know, his work is always gonna show.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Now, Coach, what did you see in Husam that made you, you know, start wanting to train him and move him forward in his pro career?
Honestly, everything. Eyes, speed, feet. When he, like it was said in the amateurs, he a lot of hand speed, a lot of punches, a lot of hand speed. Which is great, but that doesn't really transfer over to the pros real well. So when I got him, when he was ready to turn pro, we started working with him, sitting down on his punches, working on his power a little bit more. You know, it doesn't take a muscle man to knock out people. It just takes technique and leverage and stuff like that. He's doing it real well. You can see everybody sees it now.
Yeah.
You know.
There's certain things, like you know from coaching for so long, and there's time, you know, from being around it for so long, there's certain intangibles that people just have. Every fighter's got their own special thing. What would you say Husam's special gift is, I guess you would say?
Honestly, you can't really pick one with Husam. Great eyes, great hand speed, you know, everything, really. You can't really just pick one. I mean, some guys the power, some guys the work ethic, some guys the lot of punches. But with Husam, it's just it's everything put in one. It really is.
Yeah. Now, you know, you showed it a little bit in your last fight. It's not like, came out, showed off the power, knocked the guy down, and then it was time for fun. You like to have fun in there. You know, you're doing a little dance in the corner from Friday we were talking about last time I was here interviewing Josiah. So, you know, where does that come from? Does that help you calm down in the ring when you're just in there having fun like that?
Nah, honestly, like, it's just when you train hard and, you know, you work hard and you're prepared for a fight, there's nothing really left for you but to just go out there and have fun. Coach Mo reminds me all the time in the locker room, let's go have fun. Let's go have fun. And, you know, that's stuff I did as a kid, you know.
Right.
This is like nothing new.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since I was a kid, dancing in the ring. This is fun to me, you know. You got to enjoy and love what you do. And, you know, that's just my way of expressing it, showing it, you know, that I love this and I'm here to stay.
Yeah.
I just want to continue to do it.
Now, what is it about boxing that's kept you so enthusiastic about it and just, you know, wanting to push forward in your career? What do you love the most about it?
You know, man, honestly, it's really all I know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got some people good in school, some people like to work. I can't work for nobody.
Yeah.
One time I told him I wanted to work. He owns a construction business.
Yeah.
He told me to come work for him. I quit in like what?
2 days.
2 days?
2 days.
So like, yeah, no, working for me is definitely out the picture. I can't work, especially not construction. I always give him props. I don't know how, you know, he did it for so many years.
Yeah.
It's tough. But yeah, no, this is what I love doing. I come to the gym with a smile on my face. I leave with a smile, you know. Same thing with the fights. It's really just what I love, you know, and I got talent, I got skills, you know, so I just, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I'll be a dummy to waste this, you know.
Right.
Just
No, I
gotta
hear
keep
that.
going,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things that I find interesting about you is, you know, this sport, however you take it, it is about entertainment, right? People want to see knockouts. People want to see flashy fighters. Whether they love or hate them, they want to see flashy fighters.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so is that kind of what, like, not you hope propels you, but I think it will propel you, just like your bravado and just, you know, wanting to get it done. Do you think that'll help you further your career faster?
For sure. Like you said, people love to see that, and you know, I'm gonna try my best to continue to bring that to the ring, and you know, hopefully everybody loves it. You know, some, like you said, some people are gonna hate it, some people are gonna love it, but at the end of the day, any publicity is good publicity. So I'll take it, good and bad.
Whether they love or hate it, they're gonna buy the tickets, right?
That's all she wrote.
Another thing they don't know about Husam, they might see him dancing in the ring or being a little cocky or whatever, but he's one of the nicest kids that come into the gym. You know, very respectful, and his teammates look up to him. And he helps every one of them in here. You see, we got 40, 50 kids in here, and he'll help anybody that asks him. Yeah, he's got that kind of personality. But when he gets in the ring, it's, you know, I've always said, inside the square circle, it's a different ballgame. You know, you're in here, the guy's trying to take your head off, you're trying to take the other guy's head off, and it's just a different, once you step outside the ring, then it changes.
Right.
And that's how he is. One of the nicest kids I've ever met.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now, do you like helping out the younger fighters and kind of showing them things here and there?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, that's the future.
Right.
You know, the young guys coming up, especially, you know, the young guys from our gym, you know, I want to see them be better than me. And I always tell them, some of our very skilled amateurs, like, man, I can't wait till I get older. I'm going to spar you and this and that. You know, they're very competitive. That's how you want them to be, though. And I tell them all the time, I want you to be better than me, you know, be better than me. Don't, you know, be way better than me. Go win 100 nationals, go turn pro, win any belt you know, desire to win and all that. I just always motivate them to be better and, you know, just shoot for the stars, really. So, yeah.
Now, Coach, you probably appreciate that a lot, you know, having your fighters help out with the younger kids and kind of guiding the amateurs. You know, how do you kind of utilize that, your pros, to help your amateurs?
Absolutely. They come in, I got the kids in here, then they come in with their class, they come in a little bit early. They're always helping the kids. Any questions that the kids have, they answer. They help them train. They help me train them, you know, and all the kids look up to them. I mean, they see them as like world champions, and you know, wow, I want to be like that one day. And,
right.
And the best thing about it is all the pros that come in, they do help the kids.
Yeah.
Not one of them will walk away from any kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the amateurs he fought in the finals of the Golden Gloves this year, TJ.
Yeah.
And I told him, because I was interviewing you and Joe, and I said, those are good guys to look up to, because they had decent amateurs. They went turn pro. They suffered losses earlier in their career, and they're still moving forward. They're still fighting on big cards, still fighting on Cliff Steele's undercard. Things like, where's that mindset you think come from in the gym, just to keep pushing through no matter what hurdles in your way?
Well, you know what? Like I said, Joe in his mind, after that loss in Florida, we were walking back to our room, and he said, "Coach, I'm going to go run 3 miles." So that just comes inside of him. Some people take losses differently than other people. With Husam, when he took that loss, he took it hard because he knew, it wasn't a loss like the guy was any better than him.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what he did, and he was he was upset at himself, and that's what hurt more than anything, because he knew, I knew, everybody knew that he was much better than the person that he lost to. So we're working on that. We're working on coming back, and
rematch.
we're
Rematch is
gonna
coming.
rematch.
Rematch is coming.
Rematch is coming.
He wants.
Ransford, if you watching, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm telling you that for sure.
We like call-outs here on Jab Journals. When you did go through that loss, you jumped back right on the horse, right? I mean, you've had 3 or 4 fights since then.
I'm happy. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
I'm happy that you look at it that way. Like in the movies when a fighter, or not a fighter, when like a teenage boy or a teenage girl break up or whatever, and they're crying in the bed, and I'm gonna say it. I was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like that, because I've never experienced a heartbreak from no female, nothing like that,
right,
like I did from that loss. I was like a teenage girl in my room crying. I ordered pizza. I spent my whole fight check on pizza and wings, and I swear, so it was just like, I think I gained this is the first fight I've ever had where I gained like 25 pounds maybe in 1 week.
Wow.
Maybe
Like
maybe even more, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that was my first heartbreak. I've never experienced anything before that or even now like that ever. Nothing has ever touched my heart like that. So
we had to work to get him back.
We worked. Yeah. He got me out. He got me out of my room, and he's like, "Come on, let's go. Let's get back to work."
He's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
He does. He really does got a story to tell, and I told him that, and he's gonna tell it when he wins these world titles. And I have no doubt in my mind that he will win, all the world titles.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind, and he'll tell his story then.
Yeah, it would have been very easy for you to not come back in the gym and not put on the gloves again. A lot of people have done that with way less, even if they won a fight that they thought they should have lost or something like, something like that. So I think it says a lot about your character coming back and fighting, and just the way that you do it when you walk in the first minute of your fight. Every fight that I've watched is the most entertaining minute of the whole card sometimes, you know what I mean? Because you're just going right after the guy.
Appreciate it.
I think that says a lot about you. I think it says a lot about your coach. I think it says a lot about your gym, the way you guys kind of rally around each other. I kind of mentioned it in Joe's interview, but there's a lot of guys around the same weight in this gym and locally that you guys all spar and get together and kind of build each other up. Do you kind of feel like being in the gym with a guy like Joe and, training with guys like, that are at equal level as you,
yeah.
I think that helps you out in your training camps?
Yeah, most definitely. We already got some big stuff scheduled, hopefully in the future, and we got Joe included in that because he fits, he fits perfectly. His work ethic, is, I've never seen anything like it around me, or, from other fighters. I haven't. This guy.
It pushes him.
It pushes me. Like lately, I watch him shadow box. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna try to shadow box harder than him. He motivates me in that way, because seeing how good his stamina is, and how he can go, basically when he fought Gordy, he there was people behind me. They were like, oh, he looks tired after the first round. I was like, man.
About Joe?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
man,
they don't
watch.
know
He's
Joe.
about to fight. I said he's about to do these last 5 rounds the same way he did that first round.
Yeah. I think his
And
sixth
he did
round
it.
was harder than his first round.
It was.
But Joe had his own interview. This is about his son. So,
Shout out Joe, man.
yeah, shout out Joe. We
Shout
love
out
Joe.
Joe.
We love to check out his last episode. So, moving forward. So, sorry, you won your fight. Obviously, in the Chris Shields undercard. You have a fight coming up in October. What are you doing to kind of prepare for that? Are you in training camp now? Or are you waiting a little bit? Or?
We started this week. A lot more conditioning. This is my first 8-rounder. We plan on sparring, top Michigan Orthodox prospects, like Joey Spencer, Josiah, any other Orthodox fighters out there, really, that can benefit us and help us train for this fight. But it's my first 8-rounder. I definitely do want to go more than 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. If it comes in the first, it comes. I'm never chasing it. But
Right.
if it happens, it happens. But like I said, I do plan on, making this fight last, showing off my skills. Like Coach said, my hand speed, my eyes, my defense, everything, a little bit of everything. I want to show people that it's not just power. It's not just jumping on the fighter. Like, I want to show what I can really do.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got that opportunity yet, so I feel like I'm a lot more experienced now. My feet are soaking wet. I'm just ready to, show what I can really do in an 8-round fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like taking that step up from a 6-round fight to an 8-round fight? Not that you've been 6 rounds, but Gabe Smith was 6 rounds, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So you've been 6 rounds before, so you can do it. Are you intimidated by the 8 rounds at all? Or do you think you're good?
No, because my mind has grown.
Mm-hmm.
My mind has grown way me too. I'm not intimidated by it. If they told me I'm fighting a 10-rounder fight, I'm still getting prepared for. I'm getting prepared for a 12-round fight.
Right.
Me and Coach were talking. We plan on sparring more than 8 rounds. If we have to do 10, 12, 15, we're ready. So it's no more that like that was maybe my mindset before my loss,
Mm-hmm.
but my mindset after my loss has completely changed.
Now, do you feel like that loss helped you in
The
your
greatest
career?
thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
It's the
I can see that in you when you talk about it.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I'm still whoop Ransford's ass, but it's the greatest thing that happened to me because it made me grow. I probably still would have been the way I was before that loss.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason, and God wanted that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. We learned from it, and we're here. We bounced back. And we're just going to continue to keep doing what we do.
Yeah, so, you said you started training camp this week, preparing for your first 8-round fight. Take us through like a day in a training camp for you.
We have a tight schedule. So, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I train twice a day every day.
Mm-hmm.
But Mondays in the morning, I condition, like strength and condition, like weightlifting, explosive work. And then later on in the day, we get the boxing work. We work on technique, what we're going to do in the fight. Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays, it's running in the morning and then boxing in the afternoon again. But the boxing in the afternoon is sparring.
Okay.
So that's what we spar those days, and basically just like that all week long. We just up the reps every week,
Mm-hmm.
with the weightlifting, with the running. We add a mile to every week, and we just try to max out wherever we could by the end of the camp, so our confidence is good going into the fight, conditioning wise.
Now, Coach, I know you mentioned before that a lot of guys like to spar every day.
Yeah.
Especially in the amateurs. Pros, I think, are a little more regimented. But take me through that mindset. Why? Maybe explain to the fans that don't understand. Why don't you like sparring every day?
No, brain damage first.
Right.
Of all,
Yeah.
first and foremost.
It seems obvious, but some people don't understand that.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that like to spar every day. I'm not, because you come in, you spar. And then, like he said, we work on technique work. We work on mitts and what we're gonna do in the fight. And
Right.
when you spar, you're just in there sparring. You're not learning. You're not learning what your opponent is doing. You're not thinking of what your opponent does, because you're never going to get the exact same style of fighter as the opponent. You're going to get a southpaw, you're going to get an orthodox, or you're going to get somebody who pressures, or you're going to get somebody who thinks. But you're not going to really look. You're not going to really get the exact opponent as you have sparring. So I like to work 2 or 3 days a week on technique. 2 or 3 days sparring at the most.
Yeah.
At the most, yeah. It just and then it helps the body heal better.
Right.
You know, you're sparring, you're banging, body shots, arms, or whatever. They get tired and they get all sore, but you get that one day where it's not getting banged up. It recovers much better.
Yeah. Now, I think the recovery thing is such an important issue because, in the old days, we hear about the old Kronk sparring wars. People say that their hardest fights were in the gym and stuff like that, and that was a benefit to a certain point. But I think you're right.
He was there.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. But I think this new generation has kind of learned you gotta rest. You gotta let your body rebuild. Husam, do you think the way that coach lines up your training camp, you think that helps you rebuild and be the best fighter you can be during fight night?
He knows what he's doing. But I do got to say, the new generation is soft compared to back then.
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about that. Touch on that a little bit. What were you thinking about that?
I love old school boxing. From the boxing gear to the fights, the documentaries. I'm all over that, and I can tell you that we're soft compared to them.
Oh, for sure.
I'll admit it. I don't care, but
it's just like
they're just brutal.
Yeah.
They were brutal.
It's like these days, every boxer needs a nutritionist. They need a conditioning coach.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I can't do it without a nutritionist.
Yeah.
I die making weight without it.
They need this. We used to run, army boots.
Right.
We used to run in army boots outside, and they were going 15 rounds at the time. I never, went 15 rounds, but the pros were going 15 rounds in a world title fight, and they cut it down to 12. So, and I don't know how we did it without all this new stuff that they do, but we did.
You guys did it.
We did it back then. Yeah.
Is there a certain fighter you look up to, Husam?
Certain fighter?
Yeah, you said you follow a lot of old school fighters.
Currently or old?
Either, but both.
Either or.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
I love Muhammad Ali. He just, he stood for so much inside and outside the ring.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that. Nowadays, there isn't too many fighters that can, stand for something like what he did outside of the ring. He always stood up for his people, whether they were, in the right or the wrong, and he fought his ass off too. He trained hard. He knew when to bite down after his losses, and he's great.
He was another one, like you said, that training in the old days, fought 15 rounds. Obviously, he said running in boots. He used to run backward in army boots.
Yeah.
Chop trees in his camp.
Chop trees in the cabin.
It is a different world we live in. That's for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, but getting prepared for this fight. October 12th is the date. Still looking for a venue, but we're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
Any predictions on the fight?
It's definitely gonna be fireworks.
Yeah.
Cause I plan on going in there and throwing 100 punches around. Obviously the smart punches and picking them right, but I want to let my hands go because I know there's people out there that think I can't throw a lot of punches and continue to go. But I plan on letting my hands fly. From the opening bell to, whatever God got's written for, whichever round is gonna end. And I know it's gonna end. It's not going 8 rounds.
Right.
For sure. But yeah.
Yeah.
But if it does go 8 rounds, he's ready.
He's ready
be
for it.
prepared. I'll be prepared for 10,
Right.
12.
Coach, before we go, anything you want to say about the upcoming fight?
Yeah, we got a lot of great fighters coming in. Really good card. Josiah, Devontae Kirk, Cameron Pankey. Who else? Ryan.
Ryan Reed. Waleed Sharks.
And we got a lot of really good up and comers.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely be promoting it here on the channel. Before we go, Husam, is there any like sponsors, anyone you want to shout out, any socials you want to put out there so the fans can know where to find
Give
you?
a big shout out to Ali Soul, my main man. You know, that's somebody that got me, and I appreciate him.
All right. Well, that does it for this episode. Jab Journals.
What's this podcast called?
Jab Journals.
Jab Journals?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Jab Journals, too.
Appreciate it,
Thank you
man.
for having me.
That does it for this episode, guys. We'll see you on the next one.